Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Saturday, the 25th of July, 2026. Beginning with the Synoptic as normal. Picture for midday UTC shown here. You can see a little bit more to look at than we have had in recent days and weeks. We've got usual sort of Azores high out to the southwest, reaching its way in there. As we've seen quite consistently over the recent period. To the north, we've got this low just up to the north of Scotland, there being the Scandies, and that bringing with it actually a little bit of frontal activity. Now, just a warm front really for us at the moment, and very much just approaching from the north, not going to cause us any particular issues today. We may see a few more effects of that tomorrow, but generally still high pressure, fairly slack ice bars, a little bit tighter than they were the last few days. So we can expect blue conditions with a moderate westerly flow across the south of the UK. Looking forward into the next few days, you can see that warm front weakening as it passes through, with a cold front potentially going through sometime on Sunday, leading to probably another good soaring day as the high pressure comes back in on Monday. Back today, however, looking at the sat pit, you can see quite clear evidence of that front. Actually, it's a very interesting singular band of cloud down much of the southeast of the UK, but lots and lots of cloud to the north and thickening as you cloud to the north thickening as you go further north, I should say. I'm not really anticipating any great deal of issue with that. More likely reaching us by maybe a mid to late afternoon, if not later. Rain radar, nothing in our part of the country here that causes us any concern. You can see to the north, a bit of rain up in Scotland. Looking at the Met Office prediction, not expecting anything in the south really. You can see working its way further and further south as that front progresses down the UK, but no concern for today's ops. Ilium, their observation this morning was 260 degrees, 3 knots, so a light westerly with no detected cloud and 10-kilometer visibility. Farmers, if they've issued their TAF, they have now. They're showing a variable wind 3 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers with few clouds at 4,500 feet. And then as it goes on, wind strengthening throughout the day, 270 degrees up to 10 knots. So spot winds looking to the south, we're looking northwesterly, around 15 knots, moderating to around 10 as we go higher. And to the north, it's steady westerly, 270 degrees, 20. And that's fairly consistent. I'm expecting something more along these lines, and maybe even slightly slacker in terms of speed. On the surface, you can see windy here showing a gentle westerly, maybe even slightly northwesterly flow across Lasham. And the local Met Office forecast showing initially northwesterly in line with windy there, coming around to G westerly and increasing steadily as the day goes on, peaking around 13 knots this evening, gusting up to 24. Very high on the UV, up to 8 at 1 o'clock, so do take care when out in the sun. GFS supporting that, showing around about 28 degrees in the warmest part of the day with a dew point locally to us of 7. And we're presently up to just over 18 degrees centigrade locally, with a dew point of 11.6. That's the view on the south side. Looking to the west, you can see a little bit of haze and cloud on the horizon, but still fairly consistently blue and westerly, as has been the case for the last little while now. So sky sight on the left-hand side of the screen there, an excerpt from the potential flight distance, showing still reasonable cross-country potential, but not quite as good as it has been for much of the preceding week. The cross-section for Lasham over here, showing a blue day, fairly late start on the soaring front, but that should go quite late into the afternoon, or early evening, potentially even up to 5,500 to 6,000. Looking at the NOTAMs, something of great concern given the nature of our flying. 26 here we have middle wallop into services, so do be aware if you're out that way, it'd be fairly busy. And up here, 58, the usual Fairford TMZ, and quite a few of the danger areas active as well. There's some paragliding throughout that area of the country. As always, if you are flying cross country, it's up to you to self-brief, so to ensure that you are diligent. Move on now to glider bookings. Fairly busy day today, two 21s on booked flying and another on the casual list. We've got K13 operating control lessons and a K21 and a K13 for the youth group. We also got the Geo and SH4 on the Silver and Beyond course. Otherwise, we do have some single-seater availability. At the moment, we have two on the casual list with no instructor, so if anyone's around and fancies helping out, that would be greatly appreciated. One movement anticipated at this time at just before 4 o'clock local, a 737 arrival, and we'll keep monitoring the progress of that throughout the day. Reminder again about the Boyne Wave expedition. Space is starting to book up now as we get closer and closer to October, so don't be left. Make sure you get your name down. Any questions, you can ask any of the flying staff, and bookings to be made through the office. Okay, so in summary, we've got low pressure to the north and a high pressure to the southwest, with the warm front tracking it towards the south. We can expect reasonable blue thermals throughout the day and the gentle becoming moderate westerly flow. With that, we'll operate runway 27, cables on the south side. And as always, do not land or taxi across the disused runways shown in red. Here's our airfield setup to finish. Winching of south side grass, air towing club on the runway. Grid should be required up in its usual place on the north side grass, and self-launchers lining up along the Perry track facing the south, calling up when ready for taxi. That's all for me this morning. We'll see you out there shortly. Let's make the most of today and keep it safe. Thank you.